And just like that, here we are in the year of the cat with Al Stewart. And what can we say about this title track of this album? Just an absolute masterpiece. As I said, the whole album, top to bottom, super record. One of the best records, not only of 1976, and I mentioned some of the other great albums that came out that year, like the Boz Scaggs record, the Stevie Wonder record. Who else had great albums in 76? Who didn't, right? The Doobie Brothers. I mean, there was so many great records. But there was Al Stewart there, 1976, with the Year of the Cat album. And man, what a record, top to bottom. So many great songs on that album, and none greater than the title track. And seeing him do this in concert. And of course, he brought the whole crew along. As I said, he brought the band right off the album. And that means a couple things for this song. It means the great Tim Renwick on the electric guitar, and the acoustic guitar solos. Actually, Tim Renwick doing both of the guitar solos. And how about the great Phil Kinsey and the birth of one of the real critical sound elements, one of the critical musical elements, came to be an identifying feature, came to be a signature part of the Al Stewart sound. And that was the memorable, legendary saxophone of the great Phil Kinsey. And that unique feature makes its debut on this song back there in 1976. Al Stewart, Phil Kinsey on sax, Tim Renwick on both the acoustic and electric solos, the great Al Stewart band everywhere else. And man, this one just landed. And like I said, you know, back there in 76, I knew who Al Stewart was. I was familiar with him. He had done some stuff that I really liked. He had done some other stuff that was just kind of okay, that I didn't really connect to, but I was certainly open to anything that he might be coming with. And there he was with the Year of the Cat album. And man, certainly, even all these years later, especially, this album has aged so well. It has aged like the fine wine that Al Stewart himself values so much in his real life, right? And it still sounds fantastic and certainly fits right in there with the classic albums of that year and that time. It is Al Stewart, the Year of the Cat album, the title track. If you didn't experience this in real time back in 76 and you're just grooving on it now and just finding out about it now, good for you. I'm glad you discovered Al. I'm glad you discovered this great song. But if you're an old timer like me and you do remember this song from that fall of 76 and experiencing it back there in real time in your life, man, this was just such a cool vibe, such a cool record. Just legendary lyrics, right? It's like reading a book. His lyrics are always just so interesting and so thought-provoking. And this band is just top shelf. And there are moments on this song that are just etched in history, folks. It is the great Al Stewart, Year of the Cat, the title track from 1976. Man, this one. Peter Wood on the piano. Cool changes. Al's arrangements are always so cool, so interesting. What a groove. What a groove. What a time for music. God. Check out these lyrics.
On a morning from a Bogart movie, in a country where they turn back time, you go strolling through the crowd like Peter Lorre contemplating a crime. She comes out of the sun in a silk dress, riding like a watercolor in the rain.
What a line.
Don't bother asking for explanation. which came in the year of the cat. She doesn't give you time for questions as she locks up your arms, and you follow till your sense of which direction completely disappears. By the blue tiled walls near the market stalls, there's a hidden door she leads you to. These days, she says, I feel my life just like a river running through the year of the cat. While she looks at you so coolly, and her eyes shine like the moon and the sea. She comes and sets and patchouli, so you take her to find what's waiting inside the year of the cat.
Tim Renwick on the guitar. One morning comes and you're still with her on the bus and the tourists are gone, and you've thrown away your choice and lost your ticket, so you have to stay on. But the drumbeat strains of the night remain, and the rhythm of the newborn day. You know, sometime you're bound to leave her, but for now you're gonna stay in the year of the cat. What the sound shows. Year of the cat. Get a good look at this cover and don't forget it. Man, what a record. Al Stewart, Year of the Cat. And hearing it all the way through up nice and loud like that again. I'm just reminded, I mean, I'm transported back there, and I am just reminded how that song stuck out. And here we go again, even amongst so much other great music and classic music that was on the radio and out there in the music world in 1976. That song was so fresh and so different. And you know, that iconic sax solo there by the great Phil Kinsey, man, they got 3 hit records out of that sound. He put the finishing touch on this one. They turned around on the next album, both Time Passages and Song on the Radio, featuring the just deluxe, iconic tones of Phil Kinsey on that saxophone, man. That was part and parcel of the Al Stewart sound back then. And then, of course, how about the great guitar work of Tim Renwick, one of the legends of these past several decades there out of the UK. Tim Renwick, of course, known for his collaborations with David Gilmour and Pink Floyd, and he was in the Elton John band for a while back there in the day. So the great Tim Renwick, what a job the great Alan Parsons did. Let's give it up for the production and the engineering. As I said, absolutely sterling sound coming from the production side and the engineering side. The sounds of these instruments on this record, so rich and full and beautiful. Truly an audiophile level achievement there by Alan Parsons. That great band, great individual performances by Tim Renwick and Phil Kinsey, as we said, on the solos. The whole band just locked together so beautifully and so seamlessly. And what a sound, man. Turn this one up on the stereo and it sounds incredible. The 45-year anniversary version, man, I have got to get that, because I just saw today that the deluxe anniversary box set version of this great album features that same fall of 76 concert recorded in Seattle that I went to. So if I get that, I'll be able to hear that same show that I actually attended back there in the fall of 76 on Al Stewart's Great Year of the Cat tour. And what a show that was, with the whole band in tow, right off the album and right onto stage. And they sounded incredible. And I expect nothing less from Al Stewart. What a guy, and what a songwriter. What a unique style, a truly signature style. And may not have been one of the biggest pop stars in the world, although he was there a couple times, right? Did pretty well with this Year of the Cat record, for sure. May not be one of the bigger names in the business, but certainly one with quite a great reputation for quality and enduring quality at that. Timeless, you might say. And Al would like that, because Al has kind of got that historical time conceptual thing going on. It's timeless, you could say. Hope you guys enjoyed some Al Stewart on a Saturday afternoon. The weather's kind of cool out there, and we got some little shadows and stuff going on in the room here. The sun's starting to slowly come back to the northern hemisphere. Good things around the corner. See you in the next video. How about On the Border and Year of the Cat? And you know what else, folks? I could have played another 4 or 5 songs from this album. That's how good this album is. There are a handful of other songs from this album that are just so cool and that I love so much. And we may eventually get back around to some of those. And I'm definitely going to play Roads to Moscow for you, the very first Al Stewart tune that I ever heard from 1974. That is just absolute epic masterpiece. You got to hear it. Just epic. We'll get to it. See you in the next one, folks. Hope you dug Year of the Cat. How about those lyrics, right? How about this line? She comes out of the sun like a silk dress. No, how does he say it? She comes out of the sun in a silk dress, running like a watercolor in the rain. Are you kidding me? What a line. God, I wish I had written that. And there's about 15 other lines in there too. Just really cool lyrics from Al Stewart. I always dug that side from him. Certainly another one of his trademarks, right? Cool lyrics. See you the next time around, folks. Bye-bye. Al, Tim Renwick, Phil Kinsey, Peter White, what a band.